Dr. Kemi Lawrence, it's Friday, September 27th, 2024. For those Bobrisky fans calling me names on VDM's comments on Instagram, ex-convict is not the word you want to call me. I was arrested by Nigerian police on March 14th, 2017 and released in prison on the 5th of June, 2017. I was rearrested in July and I was released the next day. They said I didn't perfect a magistrate bail. I was arrested in October 17th, 2017. They said I didn't come to court. I had typhoid. My doctor wrote a letter, but the lawyer did not give it to the judge because he was bribed by the late Kennedy Okoko. There's someone in your team that always betrays you, okay? Lawal, the lawyer in Port Harcourt, he was dismissed from my team. I was released January 2018. Now let me tell you the meaning of ex-convict, because most of you are daft. You refuse to learn simple English. An ex-convict is somebody who is in trouble, gets a trial in court, and the judge convicts them, or the jury, whatever way they get in the judgment. Once they're convicted, they are sentenced to prison. Remember, 1, tried. 2, convicted. 3, sentenced. Once they're sentenced to prison, 1 year, 2 years, 3 months, 6 months, whatever the time they're sentenced to prison, they go and serve it. They might come out before that 6 months. If it's 6 months, we'll give Bobrisky as an example, okay, of the Nigerian prisons, now known as Nigerian Correctional Services, NCS. Now, Bobrisky was tried for an EFCC case that involved abuse of the Naira and money laundering charges. The money laundering charges the EFCC added to the charges was really not explained to the public. Who did Bobrisky launder money for? It's not just Bobrisky. All the female celebrities are doing it. All the male celebrities are doing it. Hush Puppy did it for so many. And he fled Nigeria to Malaysia. So he evades EFCC prosecution. Ended up in Dubai. And that's when bushmeat caught the hunter, or hunter caught the bushmeat. But at the end of the day, every day's for the thief and 1 day's for the owner. He ended up being taken by the U.S. feds for a bigger charge. At the end of the day, even if Hushrapi is released in about 8 years, he still faces that same EFCC charge. And that's going to be interesting. If they deport him to Nigeria, the EFCC is going to be the first to get him. Now let's go back to Bobrisky. Bobrisky was sentenced to 6 months in prison. The 6 months they gave him was supposed to end in October. There are times when you're released early from prison. This is what's unique about me and my fans. I like to educate my fans with the truth, because my fans, most of them have not even entered an airplane, let alone travel abroad. You don't need to go anywhere. The airplane and the abroad is right on your phone, and it's called the internet. Google, Wikipedia. You can learn something. So back to my fans. What's happening is that Bobrisky was sentenced to 6 months in prison to come out in October. In America, Canada, UK, places have lived. There are times when inmates will come out earlier, maybe for good behavior, maybe because they've done so well in the prison. And Hushrapi got 11 years. He did 3 waiting for trial, and now 8 is to be spent. More than likely after 5 years, they'll release Hushrapi because of good behavior or something. At the end of the day, Bobrisky came out early, maybe for good behavior, whatever the case is. He went on Isbayu's show and told Isbayu, I'm not a convict. I'm not a convict. I'm not going to accept that. Bobrisky, you are a convict. The fight I'm having on a thread on VDM's page now has to do with your fans abusing me and one calling me ex-convict. I am not an ex-convict. 1, I wasn't tried. Okay? I started going to court for pre-trial on a BUMU's case. 2 or 3 times. We went for pre-trial hearings. I go in the Black Maria, I get there, and Iyabo Ojo doesn't show up. Because the very same prosecutor, Ibiomi's spiritual son, Kennedy Okoko, had paid Iyabo not to come to court. They were always given this excuse that Iyabo is not here because she's filming in Australia. Iyabo has never been to Australia in her life. Ask Australia immigration. All these things can be found out. At the end of the day, she wasn't even filming at that time. She was more of a businesswoman at that time. You know what Rihanna was doing for the last 7 years? Business, makeup, hair, everything. She left music temporarily. That's how it was for Iyabo. Her Amala parlor, her Fresh Prince clothing, everything. All the money she gathered from fucking governors. Okay? Every governor in Lagos State that you fucked Iyabo. All that money is what you were doing to run business. Nobody wanted you in Nollywood. She has not filmed for a long time. When TikTok came, she became a TikTok star doing comedy and skits. You got to know the truth about all these people. Okay, Iyabo fans, come for me. I will come back for you. These are the people destroying Nigeria, and they all launder money for politicians. Bobrisky is just the tip of the fucking iceberg. Listen to me, Nigerians. Now, to that fan who called me an ex-convict, I was not even tried. I had pre-trial hearings. The case was dismissed in federal court. Can I be paid $100K to all the reporters not to report it? That's why you never heard about it. They called me to come to the magistrate because they didn't know what to do next. So they had to withdraw from the magistrate. That's how the case ended. And I said I wanted to meet Ibiomi. Alaba Graham Douglas, the late minister for Abacha and Babangida, took me to his church. I met him. I asked him to pray for me. He did, and I wanted a testimony done where I went on Ibiomi's pulpit and actually unleashed a curse on whoever was responsible. 3 people died in the case. I didn't touch them. But the power of God that fights for me is the same one that continues fighting for me. I'm not an ex-convict. An ex-convict is convicted, tried, convicted, spends your time in prison and is released. On the day some of the inmates are released in Port Harcourt prison, we wake up early, we do a party for them, we clap, we sing as they take their luggage and leave. They are now free. And we advise them not to come back. And also, they become ex-convicts. Bobrisky is an ex-convict, not Kemi Lawrence or Kemi Olunloyo. So listen carefully, you fucking Bobrisky fans. I am not an ex-convict. Bobrisky is an ex-convict. So when he was telling Isbayu, I'm not a convict, I can't accept that. He was indirectly telling you that I didn't come out of prison. All right? You have to be intelligent. Okay? He came out of an apartment, a posh apartment. He did not come out of prison. But the fact remains that what makes you an ex-convict is really coming out of that prison gate. Because now you wave goodbye to the prison. You've been convicted. I've done my time by. Did Bobrisky do his time? No. He was not given house arrest. Fish out the name of that judge and let that judge know. The judge that prosecuted Bobrisky and sentenced him to 6 months in prison. Have we told that judge that what he or she, prescribed for Bobrisky was prison, not house arrest? So Bobrisky went through an illegal house arrest. And this is what Mr. Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, BTO, Minister of Interior, needs to dig down on. All the connections that got him that house arrest. Mr. Femi Falana needs to be investigated. All his noise, filing suits day after day on VDM doesn't matter. Okay? I'm Kemi Lawrence, Dr. Kemi. It's September 27th. The time in Nigeria is 6:10 p.m., Friday evening. Know the facts. A convict is tried, convicted, sentenced, and leaves prison. Bobrisky did not leave a prison. So we need to get Bob back into prison to serve the rest 6 months minus the 3 weeks he was there. Everybody is equal. The poor man, the rich man, and the one hanging with the rich ones.